At the top of last week, a leak of an officially licensed Nintendo Switch carry case strongly implied that Overwatch, Blizzard's ongoing team-based shooter, is bound for Switch. It's instantly galvanized Smash fans who had largely ignored Overwatch but are nothing if not thorough in examining the supposed likelihood and fitness of every single character to grace Nintendo's shores. But even before this news, Overwatch is a fine game that doesn't need any highfalutin appearance on Nintendo to deserve a look. Being long in the tooth hasn't kept it from staying successful since it launched in 2016. It's one of our most recognizable modern shooters, and to an even greater extent, it sports a roster of insanely memorable characters. Emotions about the prospect of seeing Overwatch in Smash are high, with almost certainly fake leaks springing up like zebra grass. But what would an actual fighter's pass for this game look like? Well, we came up with a few ideas. Let's start with the most obvious part, the fighter. There's pretty much no debate on this one. While Overwatch has dozens of mostly excellent characters, the standout is clearly Tracer, the game's mascot and most identifiable hero. The spunky British gay, time-bending superhero with a robot heart whose best friend is a talking moon gorilla is one of the most iconic and recognizable gaming characters of the past 5 years. If she isn't relevant to Nintendo, she is to the industry as a whole. She even got a cameo in the cinematic sludge that was Ready Player One, though we don't hold that against her. She's also emblematic of Overwatch's general tone, one of grand positivity and the fun of teamwork. That's nicely distinct from Persona's high-octane pop, Dragon Quest's bombast, and Banjo-Kazooie's snarky whimsy, and its tone would complement Smash's raucous joy well. More mechanically, Tracer would manipulate space in some wild ways. She'd be fast, light, and using guns not dissimilar to Bayonetta's. In fact, a lot of her attacks would also involve firing shots, ones that aren't treated as projectiles. However, the range wouldn't be much to speak of, so players would have to keep on a pattern of getting in and out of reach. Her attacks, however, wouldn't have much punch on their own. Her smash attacks would be fast, but their range and damage would be somewhat poor. That weakness would be complemented by her neutral special, Recall. She simply zips backwards to where she was a few seconds ago. This could be a great recovery, but it'd be an even better way to control the stage through special positioning and sudden combos. Though it'd have to have a short cooldown time and without the healing effect from the original game. Using it at a higher level would demand thinking 2 steps ahead and behind. Any path to your opponent can also be a trap for them later on, or a way for them to read you. The up special, Blink, is a more traditional recovery, a teleporter with 2 times per use in the air, similar to Bayonetta's Witch Twist. Parting Gift, her side special, shoots her to the side, leaving behind a small bomb. Then, down special, Pulse Bomb. While not as strong as its Overwatch version, it can be grabbed back and stuck to surfaces or enemies. Maybe a player could, for instance, drop the bomb, jump off to the side, stick it to the wall of the stage, and recall back? And her more generic final smash, Enduring Bond, is yet another team-based attack, with either Winston and Mercy or Diva and Lucio firing on whoever gets caught in Tracer's initial bomb blast. Let's take care of the smaller details now. Her costumes are all skins from the game. Alongside her default yellow costume, she's got her electric purple, neon green, royal blue, posh, white, and sporty, black skins. Her final 2, though, are more elaborate costume changes. Punk, pink, and Cadet Oxton, dark gray. If the full-on costumes wouldn't be used, then the colors likely would. Really, virtually every Overwatch hero could be slotted into Smash on a mechanical level, but only Tracer makes an immediate sense. However, in the interest of thoroughness, other fighters that would work well would be the Guerrilla Scientist Winston, Villainous Wraith Reaper, Power-Suited Soldier Pharah, and Cyborg Ninja Genji, all characters from the game's initial release. Regarding stages, it's a bit more complicated. The dark London setting of King's Row is associated deeply with Tracer, and it'd be fun to chase fighters atop a series of moonlit rooftops. The Japanese village Hanamura is visually gorgeous and popular for its cherry blossoms, a walk-off stage with small houses to fight on. And Junkertown, the grody Australian town, is goofy and fun and could use a giant set of gears as part of the stage. But we're going to focus on Watchpoint Gibraltar. It's a popular map and a narratively important one, as it's a decommissioned Overwatch base that was featured in the first of the game's many animated shorts. It's also just very nice visually, with the grand sunset lighting the buildings. It would be a touring stage that moved between outdoor and indoor sections, but if we had to choose just one area, it'd probably be the support bridge coming out of the comm tower. It's a simple structure. The bridge would be flanked by 2 buildings fighters could go into, ending in slight jutting platforms outside. With a cliff downwards, it'd be great for dramatic climaxes. While the music itself is good, Overwatch isn't really as defined by its score as other series. Still, we've included 10 tracks. Most are the themes for the game's maps. Have a listen. Tracer's classic mode wouldn't be based around plot points or anything. The plot of Overwatch is entirely divorced from its gameplay, but it would be a recreation of the actual matches players enjoy. Overwatch has 3 classes of character: tank, damage, like Tracer, and support. So in Team Takedown, Tracer would fight teams comprising 1 fighter of each class, on stages that reflect the urban terrain Overwatch often uses. You could also include an element where she's backed up by 2 partners, but we declined trying that. Round 1 is against King K. Rool, Chrom, and Peach on Prism Tower. Round 2 is Ganondorf, Toon Link, and Rob on Delfino Plaza. Round 3 is Samus, Pikachu, and Villager on Gerudo Valley, itself similar to the multiple desert maps of Overwatch. Round 4 is just a bit of an in-joke. On 4 side, you fight a default costumed Charizard, Squirtle, and Ivysaur, sans Pokemon trainer. Round 5, it's Ike, Fox, and Inkling in Newport City. Then, round 6 would take place on whatever Overwatch map is used, against a Mii Brawler, Monkey Hat and Bionic Suit, Gunner, Wild West Hat and Wear, and Sword Fighter, Regal Crown and Viridi outfit. They loosely represent Winston, McCree, and Mercy. And finally, Gallium as the boss, who's more stylistically in line with the series. Being that Overwatch is a bit of a deluge of popular characters, there are a lot of options here. Honestly, almost too many options. The choices we came up with tried to show off different types of characters and situations, as well as a mix of the game's classes. There are also a lot we came up with due to how fundamental the series' heroes are, but this is the part of an Overwatch package that's hardest to pin down from a speculation standpoint, since almost every character would make a sensible spirit. Consider this list from the weakest up to be a bit more freewheeling. Genji is a primary attack type spirit with sword attack up. It'd be a Suzaku Castle duel against Greninja with a killing edge and love for water shuriken, backed up by a weak Link to represent Genji's archer brother Hanzo. Mei is also a primary, neutral type. She'd be the ice climbers on Summit's starting position and a bomb of snow would come out of Pokeballs. We initially had her on a frozen floor, but that's a bit much for one start spirit. Mercy's battle for a support spirit that resists aura attacks. It pits you against Palutena with a healing shield on Skyworld. There are 3 advanced spirits. Tracer's 8-buddy Winston is, of course, a hard-to-launch, down aerial favoring Donkey Kong set on Mario Galaxy. Beating him in his meteor smashes nets you a defense primary spirit that powers electric attacks. Lucio is a support spirit, powering energy shot attack and resistance. His fight is against a green Inkling on Saffron City, who suddenly gets final smashes and can fire off 2 in a row. The killer whale isn't exactly the same as his iconic attacks, but it looks the part. Fortunately, his stats are weak to compensate. Finally, Bastion would get a fight on Duck Hunt, as a Mega Man able to heal over time and with stronger Mega Buster attacks. It'd also get you a support spirit with a Super Scope. The bulk of the spirits are in the Ace category. Diva would be Zero Suit Samus. You'd only have to beat her, but she will be supported by a giant Reflect Samus with powered up missiles. Her spirit would be a primary one, in attack, with a weight double up effect that'd reflect how gosh darn tough the suit is. Torbjorn and Brigitte would share a spirit, as well as a fight on Hyrule Castle. The former would be King K. Rool, the latter a Zelda, who starts with and can last longer with the hammer. They'd be a defense primary spirit with strong stats and a weakened jump. Another team-up would be for Junkrat and Roadhog on Gerudo Valley. The two are a taunt-loving Pichu and Wario, the former packing a steel diver and the latter having more defense. Oh, and Bob-ombs would constantly fall. That kind of atmosphere would lead to a primary grab spirit, one that starts you off with a bomber. For Sombra, we had to futz about a bit. Her battle would be on a foggy 4 side, against a clear Pikachu who favors Thunder and is supported by Starman. Her support spirit would buff PSI attacks, which kinda sorta reflects her hacking skills. Truthfully, the choice here was to have a more unique effect. Reaper would be a primary attack spirit, buffing attack and speed at 0% damage. He'd show up as Dark Pit on Frigate Orphan, wielding a Rage Blaster. Instead of changing the environment, he's simply faster, using a stronger silver bow and with the ability to use a double final smash. His partner, Widowmaker, would instead be a support spirit, one of the painfully rare ones that gifts players a staff. Her fight is also against a staff wielder, Bayonetta, in an Omega Newport City covered in a poison cloud. It's like you're right in a sniper duel. There are 2 Legend class spirits. Doomfist is, appropriately, a primary grab spirit that strengthens fist attacks. Showing up in Arena Ferox, he'd be Little Mac, giant, gold, occasionally invincible, and with a fast-charging final smash meter. It'd also be a stamina match with rather low points, ensuring you'd constantly feel the pressure. Finally, as with Persona and Dragon Quest, one spirit battle pits you against a full-on party, members of the original Overwatch team that would jam final smash charges as a support spirit. After starting with Tracer, a team would quickly jump in with representations of Mercy, Reinhardt, Winston, Ana, Soldier 76, and Reaper. Together, that'd be Palutena with the Healing Field, King DDD, Donkey Kong, Sheik with a staff, Captain Falcon with a Super Scope, and Dark Pit with a Rage Blaster. No matter which one, this would be the one set on the Overwatch stage. Finally, Overwatch has a fairly wide range of possible choices for Mii Fighter costumes, so there's a lot of wiggle room when it comes to possible choices. Of the ones we came up with, we choose the other cyborg ninja, Genji, sword fighter, the soaring arsenal, Pharah, the conquering climatologist, Mei, gunners, and the powerful Doomfist, brawler. Plus, there'd be a downright adorable Wrecking Ball hat. But as with the spirits, there's a huge amount of room for choice in this case, especially for gunners. We didn't consider non-Overwatch costumes for characters like StarCraft's Sarah Kerrigan or the Lost Vikings, but those could also work nicely. And there it is, what a fighter's pass for Overwatch might look like. We get that this is a bit more controversial by this point for a lot of reasons, but we think a package like this could do Smash well. The footage and voiceover was recorded by me, Kody, Nokolo. The script and research goes to Wolfman, Cartboy provided editorial suggestions, and Voyager was responsible for the graphics and video editing. That's what we call pushing the payload. Thanks for watching. If you like this, hit those like and subscribe buttons and maybe strong-arm your friends into watching. Special thanks to all our patrons, whose names you can see on screen. If you'd like to contribute more, please check the link below. And for future all-content videos and other games coverage, remember to return to the source.